Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular council meeting of November 13th, 2023. Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell.
Here.
Mr. Sensi. Mr. Consolmagno.
Here.
Mr. Espinar. Ms. Flynn.
Here.
Mr. Janasek.
Here.
Mr. Mowry.
Here.
Mr. Oakes.
Here.
Mr. O'Brien.
Present.
Okay, we have 7 members present. At this time, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to turn to chair announcements. An executive session of council is held on October 30th, 2023. Personnel matters. Executive session of council was held on November 1st, 2023 for police lieutenant interviews. An executive session of council was held on November 13th, 2023, sergeant interviews and personnel issues. At this time, I'd like to turn to the reports of officials and the library director's report.
Okay, good evening. My name is Christine. I'm the director of Your Public Library, where we provide opportunities to explore, learn, create, and connect. Just want to make you aware of a new service that the library is starting. It's one-on-one job interview preparation. This will be held on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. and then at 2 p.m. You need to make an appointment. So you'll spend up to an hour with a librarian who will help get you ready for an upcoming interview. We'll conclude the session with a mock interview. It's always good to practice. We ask that you come with a resume and a job posting that interests you, and together we'll help you approach that big interview with conviction and self-assurance. A reminder that the Friends of the Library will be meeting on Tuesday, November 28th at 7 p.m. here in council chambers. If you're interested in supporting the library in the community through fundraising and advocacy efforts, please join us. An announcement that the library will close at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, November 22nd, and we will be closed on Thursday, November 23rd for the Thanksgiving holiday. We'll see you Friday morning at 10 o'clock. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Is the fire chief's report?
Good evening, council, mayor, residents of Bethel Park. My name is Rob Usselman. I'm the assistant chief with the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company, and I'm here with our October fire incidents report. We had a total calls of 43 in the month of October, 3 structure fires, 1 brush fire, 1 vehicle accident, 5 gas leaks, that's natural gas leaks, 1 CO incident, 1 electrical issue, 6 good intent calls, 4 smoke investigations, 1 hazardous material investigation, 17 fire alarms, and 3 CO alarms, and a partridge in a pear tree, in case anybody's asking. You know, there was 43 calls for the month. Our call volume for the full year through October 31st is up to 497, so it's been a rather busy year for us. Hopefully it slows down over these next 2 months. And speaking of the next 2 months, as we enter the holidays, we do ask people that they take extra caution, especially around Thanksgiving. Obviously, during Thanksgiving, a lot of people are at home cooking. It's the peak day for home cooking fires. And actually, that's followed by Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. So please be careful around those holidays. Keep anything that can catch fire, such as oven mitts, wood utensils, food packaging, towels, or curtains, away from your stovetop or anything that you use to cook on. If you do happen to have a small grease fire and decide to fight the fire, the best way to do that is get a lid and cover it, turn the burners off. If you have a fire in your oven, turn the heat off to the oven and leave the door closed. And then we always ask that you, if you can, exit the structure and then call 911 or the local emergency number. And in Bethel Park, it's 833-2000. And that'll get us coming so we can check things out to make sure everything's safe. We do ask that you be careful around those holidays. Also, as the Christmas season's coming up, we see a lot of great decorations out there. Please use UL Underwriters Laboratory approved, and use of outdoor cord is being used for all outdoors. Make sure your electrical appliances are not overloaded, your circuits aren't overloaded. That's the best way to prevent fires. And obviously, it's a big season for candles. We ask that people never leave candles unattended when you're using them. Please keep them a safe distance from materials that may catch on fire. It's supposed to be a joyous time of year. We don't want to see tragedy such as a fire in your residence or any residents in the surrounding communities as well. And that's all I have.
Any questions from council? Hearing none, thank you very much. At this time, can we turn to the manager's report?
Yes, just wanted to discuss the schedules for January's meeting. On January 2nd, it will be either 7 or 7:30. We're waiting for confirmation on that. We will have the reorganization of council. On the 8th, we will have the regular meeting, and then on January 22nd, we will have the first committee meeting of the year. Under monthly items for discussion, just wanted to let everyone know that the splash park and the pickleball courts are running behind schedule. We are working with the contractors on that, but that will not be finished until the new year. And wanted to remind everybody of our Food Truck Tuesdays, that we have No Cook Tuesdays every Tuesday behind our recreation center, and to make sure to continue to support that effort. The budget overview, I'm going to allow Dr. Campbell to cover that.
Okay, thank you very much. Can we turn to the mayor's report? And this is what I hope you're all here for, is Mayor Allen.
Thank you, Mr. Myrie. Welcome, everyone. And we got a big crowd for the Halloween decorating contest, which is great. But I will tell you that after doing the parade, the houses were amazing. I mean, I'm just glad, and there's a couple judges in here, but I'm just glad I wasn't one of them, because a lot of them were tough. They were tough. So I'm going to read the certificate, and then I'll do it by awards. So, certificate of award presented this day, November 13th, by the municipality of Bethel Park, in acknowledgement of the outstanding 2023 display of Halloween decorations at your residence. You are hereby presented the Mayor's Award of Excellence. This recognition herein given your home signifies that your Halloween decorations were the best in ward. The Bethel Park appreciates your efforts to enhance our community image at this special time of year. And when the program is rerun, the pictures of the home will be on there. They're also on the certificate themselves. So, for Ward 1, and I don't know if the winners are here, it's the Friend Residence at 5550 Farrer Drive. Okay, we'll get them that. Ward 2, and this one was amazing because I passed this house many times and you just had to stop and sit there and look at it. It's the Regret Residence, 6089 Great Dane Drive. And how'd you get so much in such a little space? Just tell the people about your involvement and how you did it.
I did it for the kids. The kids loved it. I stood across the street, watched them all night. They all laughed, even the parents. I mean, I never got into it before until I moved out here.
We appreciate it.
Wait till next year.
We did have an honorable mention on King School Road, Villela residents who had won it a few years in a row. Ward 2 was a little tough, so congratulations, and wait till next year. Okay, Ward 3 is the Pogorski residents. I don't think they're here. 5820 Irishtown Road? No? Ward 4. The Anstive residents, and I believe they're here. That's 7088 Lawrence Drive.
Yeah, for
together, and this year I decided to just combine everything. It was a little bit cheaper. But I make a lot of my stuff myself also.
Well, it's beautiful, and people will get to see the picture. Thank you very much. Ward 5, the Evan residents at 4319 Anna Street, and I believe they're here. Now we're going to find out who the workers were. Congratulations. Just tell us a little bit about your work and what you're going to do next year.
We've always really been into Halloween, but we like cute Halloween, not scary. So we do Nightmare Before Christmas and Hocus Pocus, and we added Haunted Mansion this year. And then what was the biggest? What did we add?
The 12-foot skeleton.
And then he'll stay up through at least Christmas.
Yeah,
and
he'll
then
be here till New Year's.
we'll figure out what to do with him after.
Yeah.
Well, you can make them Jack Skeleton. Right?
Yes. Poor Joe has to drive by it every day.
Thank you very much.
I don't mind.
Thank you.
See you next year.
Thank you.
Ward 6 actually needs no introduction. This is his 5th year. Coonahan residents at 5798 Wilson Drive. He's bringing the costume with him.
This is year 36. So, wow, I'm getting old. And I'm feeling it. And so any volunteers for next year would be great. Yeah. And the worst memory of this year is I'm getting old, getting diseases. 5 minutes before trick or treat, I got hit with vertigo, and I had to sit. And so I worked on the thing for 6 weeks and missed all the kids. So anyway, I'll do better next year.
I will say with you winning 5 years in a row, now I know how many years we've had this contest. And Ward 7 winner is Natold residents at 3208 Greenwald. Got the worker coming, right?
He's one. Every night he would make sure all the balls were straight. It started with my daughter, just a cute little thing, and it just progressed from there, and then now doing it for him and having him help. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I'll give this to you then. There you go. That's yours. Thank you very much. And I don't think that Ward 8 or 9's here, but the Peck residents at 174 Meadowbrook Drive and the Guns and Hauser residents at 1151 Braun Road. I actually saw that one when we were doing the parade, and it was like we almost had to stop. It was an incredible thing. But so the good news is the Halloween decorating cost is over, and now we start with the Christmas decorations. It was tough getting Halloween in there, so we'll take a break. But that's.
I'll take the pilgrims down.
But again, send in nominations, and we did get a lot of people that sent nominations in this year, which made it a lot easier for the judges. But if you can send your nominations to Janet Davin, 412-831-6800, extension 211, and she'll be looking forward to seeing some of those. Light up night we have December 6th at the community center. That's always a great night, and we always pack it in. And that's at 6 o'clock, like I said. And I think the indoor farmers market, we have one a month? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the next one will be November 28th at the community center between 4 and 7. And that includes, there'll be food trucks there also. And last but not least, I think we have our 3 new council people here. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Viola Garris, Kim Kamenicki, and Jim Jenkins. You'll be sitting up here in a few months, but welcome to the meeting. And that's all I have, Mr. Meyer.
Thank you very much. At this time, can I turn to Mr. O'Brien in approval of the minutes?
Thank you, Mr. Murray. I move we approve the 10/9/23 regular council meeting minutes.
Second?
There's a motion by Mr. O'Brien and second by Dr. Campbell that we approve the 10/9/23 regular council meeting minutes. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Council Magno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasick?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oaks?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. At this time, I would like to turn to the approval of the bills and payrolls, and Mr. O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Bill list 111323. I move that we approve bill list 111323 in the amount of $4,448,844.37.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. O'Brien and second by Dr. Campbell that we approve bill list number 111323 in the amount of $4,448,844.37. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Council Magno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasick?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oaks?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. At this time, I'd like to go to the resident comment section for non-agenda items. We have Beverly Turner signed up. If you'd like to come up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record, we do have a 3-minute limit. At the end of the 2 minutes, I'd ask you to conclude your comments.
Good evening. One of my comments is in regards to some of the change orders that I'm seeing on the new school being built. And I recall how many there were on the high school. So, you wonder, I'm not in the profession or anything like that, but you think, holy heck, you have it one way and then you change it, then naturally you change it again and again and again. And then it's still a sore spot in my mind with the lime and all the water that is lying underneath the school buildings, and it will always be there. So it's a moot point. I know it's done, but please think what's going on before you say, yeah, well, let's pass that one. And I know it makes it tough. And the other thing is, it's kind of a personal sore spot with me when I saw this business on the new garbage cans and so forth coming up through Waste Management. Is it really necessary to give out 96-gallon, which would probably come up to here on me, receptacles? I don't even recycle because I'm a widow right now. My son takes the stuff to his place and he recycles. And there are many people like me who, they could be widows, widowers, single, whatever, and they don't need it. It's probably almost a moot point there, almost too late. When I saw that postcard, I was, really surprised. I said, holy heck, even, like I spoke to a gal from the that works for the municipality, and she says, well, you can always just sit it on the side. I don't need any more junk. After my husband died, got rid of a lot of junk. So what am I going to do with that? Ride it down the back hill or something like that? I don't need that. I don't know if, what could be done about it, if anything, at this point. But, to me, I think if you don't get it, you shouldn't be charged for it. And that's how I feel. I tried calling Waste Management the other day to see what their take on it was and didn't do any good.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any other resident comments for non-agenda items? You state your name and address for the record.
Yeah,
please.
John Yeman, McKnight Drive. Sorry we're late. We had to drop a kid off at karate. We wanted to come here to congratulate Mr. O'Brien, many months late on being an outstanding council member of the year. 11 years ago, we moved in to McKnight Drive, and he's our neighbor across the street. He's done nothing but help us, and we're going to miss him, although he's not going anywhere.
You
Thank
can
goodness.
still complain to him.
Yes. Well, yeah, he knows that, and he's heard it many times over the 11 years. But we designed this, and we wanted to give it to Mr. O'Brien, albeit late. But it just says, Mark O'Brien, Outstanding Council Member of the Year, and it has an egg from our chickens.
Yes.
To you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other residents that would like to speak? Start at top of that one.
It's exciting.
Why are you
What?
trying to egg him on?
Yeah.
Let's move on.
It's not what it's cracked up to be.
It wasn't expected. Shall we go on?
Point of order.
I'm checking
Quiet,
too.
move on. Okay, can we turn to general policy and finance? And Dr. Campbell, we have no residents signed up to speak.
President Mowry, I have 7 items under general policy and finance today. The first is 2024 municipal real estate tax rate ordinance. I move that we approve ordinance number 11-13-23A to set the 2024 municipal real estate tax rate.
Second.
There's a motion by Dr. Campbell, second by Mr. Oakes, that we approve ordinance number 11-13-23A to set the 2024 municipal real estate tax rate. Any discussion of this item?
President Mowry.
Dr. Campbell.
You know, council votes tonight on the 2024 municipal real estate, as well as earned income taxes in our budget for 2024. And I thank council, I thank our municipal manager, Kristen Denny, I thank our finance director, Lisa Lapaya, and all the department directors for the incredible amount of work that they put into this. A year ago, I was pretty confident that I thought we could be able to maintain our tax rates pretty much what they've been over the last 5 years. We haven't had any increases in that period of time. I thought there was a very low probability of us having to increase taxes. And historically, Bethel Park has remained one of the most reasonable communities, the best return on investment, I would like to say, in the South Hills of Pennsylvania. We had some of the lowest tax rates as for not only real estate, but also earned income in the area, certainly compared to a lot of our neighbors. In the last 9 months, we've witnessed some rather dramatic and significant compression of events that have transpired. We've seen double-digit increases in inflation. That affects everything from our paper clips to paper products to grass seed to salt trucks to police vehicles. It affects the cost of asphalt. It affects tremendously even things like utility bills that we've had to do, drywall, for goodness sake. We've also seen a 9.75 increase in a lot of our healthcare costs, and that's only been manifest really in the last 6 months. We were broadsided by a 56% increase in our municipal garbage collection. That's $20 million over the next 5 years. $20 million over the next 5 years. So what's a reasonable thing to do? You know, we've cut every extraneous, extra, superfluous expense we possibly could. We froze and we postponed a lot of the capital projects that we would have liked to have done, yet we still need to plow and pave the roads. We still need to keep the streetlights on. We still need to maintain the parks. We need to make sure that our emergency services, our police, our EMS, our fire are well taken care of, because this is the kind of items that Bethel Parkers want, expect. As such, I know that I can't write checks on my checking account on money I don't have. I can't spend money that I don't have. I don't expect my government to do the same. I do not expect my government to do the same. As such, council's felt the need to have an increase in our tax rates. It's going to be 0.75 mils on our real estate, 0.1% on our enabling taxes. And I've always been opposed to tax increases. Even the last tax increase we had, I voted against it because I was assured that, this might be a temporary thing. I don't think anything is as temporary as a permanent change as a temporary tax increase. But even with these, the increases in the unexpected costs that we've had in the last 6 to 9 months, I still feel that living in Bethel Park is absolutely the best and most affordable community in the South Hills area, if not southwestern Pennsylvania, for our return on investment, for what we pay for taxes, for what we get out of that taxes, and living in a community like we live in. So it was a difficult, very difficult discussion and decision for this council to come to any kind of terms. We never wanted to raise taxes on anybody. But again, I feel that it was the responsible and the reasonable thing to do. And that's all I have, Mr. President.
Is there any other discussion? I'll just chime in without repeating a lot of what Dr. Campbell said. We spent a lot of time going over the budget. Could we have made it a little less and cut services? Yeah, we probably could have, but we would only mortgaged our future. You know, it's unfortunate that we have to do this. As Dr. Campbell said, the biggest impact, 56%, I believe, in the garbage collection, which equates to close to $1.5 million a year. I've talked before about the property assessments, the common level ratio. We had a tax assessment appeal at South Hills Village, which is one of our largest taxing bodies, and we were forced to give back about $230,000 for the last 4 years. And their new tax will be less than it's been, their assessed value, but they're also going to be paying a lower tax rate. It went from an 82% to, I believe, mid-70s to 55%. So what does that mean? It means our real estate taxes will be flat or declining over the next several years. So I don't think any of us take this lightly. I'd like to thank staff, council, or due diligence. We've had more budget meetings this year.
Than ever.
Yeah, input. Dr. Campbell for his due diligence and working with Lisa and making sure we can get the best we can get. But it's tough to vote for an increase, but we also have a level of service we want to continue moving forward. So that's what the budget has. And there have been some reductions in staff. There have been some reassignment of duties. So we've kind of looked at everything from top to bottom on where the efficiencies are, where we can be effective in cutting them. But we're down to whether we cut services significantly or adjust our revenues accordingly. And I think tonight that's what our plan is to do. Thank you. Hearing none, Ms. Denny, would you like to call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consolmagno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasick?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Dr. Campbell.
Second item, Mr. President, is 2024 Municipal Earned Income Tax Ordinance. I move that we approve ordinance number 11-13-23B to amend the 2024 Municipal Earned Income Tax Rate.
Second.
There's a motion by Dr. Campbell, second by Mr. Oakes, that we approve ordinance number 11-13-23B to amend the 2024 municipal earned income tax. Any discussion of this item? Hearing none, Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consolmagno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasick?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Dr. Campbell.
Next item, Mr. President, is the 2024 Budget Ordinance. I move that we approve ordinance number 11-13-23C, enacting the 2024 municipal budget.
Second.
There's a motion by Dr. Campbell, second by Mr. Oakes, that we approve ordinance number 11-13-23C, enacting the 2024 municipal budget. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consolmagno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasick?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Dr. Campbell.
Fourth item, Mr. President, the CDBG YR 50 Blight Remediation Resolutions. I move that we approve the concurring resolution R11-1323A and Slums and Blight Resolution R11-1323B for the CDBG Year 50 funding application.
Second.
There's a motion by Dr. Campbell and second by Mr. Oakes that we approve the concurring resolution R11-13-23A, Slums and Blight Resolution R11-13-23B for the CDBG Year 50 funding application. Any discussion of this item? This legislation just enables us to apply for grants through the CDBG program, Year 50 application moving forward. Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consolmagno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasick?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Dr. Campbell.
My fifth item under General Policy and Finance is designation of authorized official Trail Development Fund grant for the Drake Trail. I move that we approve resolution number R11-1323C, confirming municipal manager Kristen Denny as the authorized official to file all documents related to the Drake Trail project with the Redevelopment Authority of Allegheny County.
Second.
There's a motion by Dr. Campbell and second by Mr. Oakes that we approve resolution number R11-13-23C, confirming municipal manager Kristen Denny as the authorized official to file documents related to the Drake Trail project with the Redevelopment Authority of Allegheny County. Any discussion of this item? This is, I believe, the grant that we received for the development of plans for the Drake Trail, which is the abandoned Drake line from, I guess, Averly, formerly the Dorchester, down and through St. Clair. And Ms. Denny is now the authorized signator if we approve this. Is that right?
The pressure's on.
Okay, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consul Magno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasek?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Dr. Campbell.
My next item, Mr. President, is the Minor Park Restroom, a local share account LSA grant. I move that we approve resolution number R11-1323D.
Second.
There's a motion by Dr. Campbell and second by Mr. Oakes that we approve resolution number R11-13-23D. Any discussion of this item? This is for restrooms at Lower Miners Field, enabling us to apply for some grant money. Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consul Magno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasek?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0, and I would note for the record that the Miners Park restrooms are in Ward 1.
Thank you.
I just seen if he was paying attention. Dr. Campbell.
My last item, Mr. President, is police vehicle purchase, local share account LSA grant. I move that we approve resolution number R11-1323E.
Second.
There is a motion by Dr. Campbell, second by Mr. Oakes, that we approve resolution R11-13-23E. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consul Magno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasek?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Dr. Campbell.
I have no further items, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to health, safety, and welfare? And Mr. Oakes.
Mr. Mowry, I have two items under health, safety, and welfare. First, consideration of promotion of police lieutenant. I move that we approve Sean McGrail for promotion to police lieutenant.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Oakes and second by Mr. O'Brien to, that we approve Sean McGrail for promotion to police lieutenant. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. President,
Mr. Oakes.
I would like to say that council came together and there was a lot of talk on these interviews. Every interview was excellent. All the candidates were amazing, were very respectful, gave amazing interviews. We had such a tough time deciding between these candidates for lieutenant. Everyone was actually a great choice. We deliberated for a long time and we came up with this. We don't take it lightly. It was a very big decision, and every officer did a really good job, and we appreciate that, and we love and respect our department. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Oakes. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Denny, could you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consul Magno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasek?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Oakes.
Okay, second item, consideration of promotion of police sergeant. I move that we approve Justin Beer for promotion of police sergeant.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Oakes and second by Mr. O'Brien that we approve Justin Beer for promotion to police sergeant. Any discussion of this item? I will echo on this the same as Mr. Oakes and the previous one. We have a lot of good officers that applied. It was a tough decision. And I think no matter who we would have picked, it would have been a really good candidate for the job. Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consolmagno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasek?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Oakes.
I have no more items under health, safety, and welfare. Mr. Mowry.
Thank you very much. Are there any additional items?
Mr. Mowry,
Mr. O'Brien.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Chief O'Connor for his years of dedicated service. He was there for us through the pandemic and times of great need. For Tim and his family, I'll pray for all the best that life has to offer. Thank you, Mr. Mowry.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Any other discussion? Hearing none, can we turn to planning and zoning and Mr. Janasek?
Thank you, President Mowry. 3 items for planning and zoning tonight. The first one is, bless you, is the Bethel Park Shopping Center subdivision of Parcel C and re-subdivision of Parcel B, major subdivision, number 2023-0303, request for preliminary final approval. I move that we approve the preliminary final plan approval of the Bethel Park Shopping Center subdivision of Parcel C and re-subdivision of Parcel B, major subdivision, number 2023-0303.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Janasek, second by Ms. Flynn, that we approve the preliminary final plan approval of the Bethel Park Shopping Center subdivision of Parcel C and the subdivision of Parcel B, major subdivision number 2023-0303. Any discussion of this item?
President Mowry.
Mr. Janasek.
Yeah, I just want to say, I see the applicants in the room. They've spent a lot of time here. They went through the Planning and Zoning Commission process. They did everything they needed to do, and I think this is going to be a good thing for the community. This is, for anyone who doesn't know, this is where the Walmart and Giant Eagle is. Instead of one large parcel, it's going to be 8 separate parcels. Each building there is going to have its own, and the new owners are going to, eventually, at some point, it gives them an opportunity to sell those parcels. From our perspective, as the parcels get bought and redeveloped, we'll have an opportunity to do some more stormwater remediation around that site. The applicants have also put in north of $100,000 they've committed to help with that, with the stormwater issues that we're having there currently. So just wanted to mention that. Thank you all for all the work you did for this.
Thank you, Mr. Janasek. And I'd also like to thank Mr. Janasek and the Planning Commission. And it wasn't always smooth, and we know the applicants, but it's like sausage. I like to say you don't always want to know how it's made, but in the end, it all works out. So we appreciate your due diligence, the applicant, Joe, and the Planning Commission for they're being our bad guy. But I think in the end, we all got what we thought was best for the Bethel Park.
Agreed, Mr. Mowry.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none. Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consolmagno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasek?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Janasek.
Next item, Mr. Mowry, is 2725 Montour Avenue demolition project. I move that we approve the demolition contract of 2725 Montour Avenue to be awarded to Dom Felino Construction at a bid price of $17,200.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Janasek, second by Ms. Flynn, that we approve the demolition contract of 2725 Montour Avenue to be awarded to Dom Felino Construction at a bid price of $17,200. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. President.
Mr. Janasek.
Yeah, for those who don't know, this is the house right behind the parking lot here, behind the library. It expands our footprint from the municipal building here into the back of the parking lot there. I can see our library director, Christine, is smiling over there. We discussed it at the library board meeting last week. They'd been asking about it. So it's been a long time coming. I know I'm spending money, which I usually don't do, but I think this is money well spent. So just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
You can put that under Public Works and Maintenance. That guy really likes to spend money. Any other discussion?
You're lucky I'm in Florida.
Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consolmagno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janasek?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0, and I believe this is also in Ward 1.
That's correct.
Mr. Janusik.
Third item, last item for planning and zoning, the resolution R-11-13-23F, declaring nuisance at 2403 Milford. I move that we approve the resolution R-11-13-23F to declare 2403 Milford a public nuisance.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Janusik, second by Ms. Flynn, that we approve resolution R-11-13-23F to declare 2403 Milford a public nuisance. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. President, there is a resident that looks like they might want to speak. I don't know, we didn't have a sign up.
It's the next step in the process for potential demolition. It's the legal procedure we need to go through. This, I know it's been a challenge for the neighborhood, and I know Mr. Janusik and our staff has been on it, but this is kind of the next step in the process.
And I'll just mention, you know, some of these properties, they fall into disrepair, they become blighted. Neighbors like yourself and some of the others over there express some of their concerns, and so we start the process for 20 years.
Okay.
We're here
Any
now.
other discussion? Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consul Magno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janusik?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Janusik.
One more item I wanted to bring up, just since Mr. Consul Magno's in Florida, I wanted to remind everyone, in case they haven't seen it, that the building is down where the old GameStop / Long John Silver's used to be, and it looks like Popeyes is going to be there, hoping by the end of the year, but probably more likely in the spring sometime. We'll be able to try their chicken.
That is good. Thank you very much, Mr. Janusik. Any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to Public Works and Maintenance and Ms. Flynn?
Mr. President, there's only one item under Public Works and Maintenance tonight. Ball fields, fertilizers, and MVP mix and grass seed. I move that we approve to pre-order field fertilizers, MVP mix, and grass seed for all our parks for the next season, for next year's season from Walker's Supply Company in the amount of $17,974.33. The funds will come from account 01-451-552. By ordering early, we will save 3%, which is $400.85.
Second.
There's a motion by Ms. Flynn and second by Mr. Oakes that we approve the pre-order field fertilizer MVP mix and grass seed for all of our parks for next year's season from Walker Supply Company in the amount of $17,974.33. The funds will come from account number 01-451-552. By ordering early, we will save 3%, which equates to $400.85. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Denny, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Consul Magno?
Yes.
Ms. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. Janusik?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mr. Oakes?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Ms. Flynn?
I do just have one additional item / comment. I wanted to give a shout out to our program coordinator in the Parks and Rec Department, Lindsay Seibert. She and her staff did this amazing event last month, Booze and Bites, and it was so much fun, and we haven't had an event quite like that in Bethel Park. So I just wanted to, if you didn't come this year, make sure you come next year. It's probably going to be even bigger and better. That's all.
Thank you very much, Ms. Flynn. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. O'Brien?
I'd like to make a shout out to all our veterans and thank them for all they have done and continue to do for us. Veterans Day was over the weekend. I'd also like to shout out to Dupre's Route 88 Nursery. They've always come through for the veterans. Rich and Michelle, the wreath. They even gave us all those moms to place around there. It's been a beautiful presentation for our honoring Veterans Day. And they told me they'd like me to honor Michelle's father, long time, he's passed now, long time Bethel Park resident, a Korean airborne veteran, Frank Dupre. And Frank, and I didn't know he was even in the service, and didn't even know he was in the airborne. So, and also Mr. Mara, we lost, I would call Bethel Park's poet, Judy Mayer. through many years, she has written many poems across Bethel Park, and it's a great loss. And the one I remember very candidly is we took one of her poems along with The Magic of Dave Cable and from 9/11, and we put it to a show on local television, and it was very nice. And actually, it is a marker of history and how the people felt within this town during that unfortunate day. So, thank you, Mr. Murray, and I do wish the family of Miss Mayer all the best. Bye.
Agree. Is there any other items? Hearing none, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
So moved by Dr. Campbell, second by
Second.
Mr. Oakes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody want to stay? Meeting adjourning. Good night, everybody.